What are some things kind of moving towards the existing sales reps or existing teams? What are some challenges that you see? So if somebody's listening, watching this right now, I just can't get my team to do this. What are some like top, I don't know, 2, 3 things that you see as people come to Top Rep or just part of your training that like you have to reteach them and then kind of guide them? Because I have some ideas, but what do you see for existing teams having to kind of rectify that ship?
So what happens with your existing team members? It's just like when people come to Top Rep, we get a mix. We have a lot of people that are brand new. The guy that won Top Rep, it was his first day. He hadn't even started with the company,
I met him.
with Maumee River out of Indiana. And they're a client of ours. People are like, oh, he won because it was his first day. He hasn't even been trained other than they're at Top Rep. So, they, first of all, congratulations to them. They hired the right person. There's a mix of people that we get there, but many of them, or most of them, have been doing this a long time. And what we hear are two things: that what they got out of this was the dog fights. I mean, me and Jim would obviously like to hear that they came and they got so much out of what we said. We don't hear that a lot, to tell you the truth. We coach, we train, but it's the dog fights where they get to use the information that they're being trained on, and they get to use that right there. And then they get to see 5 other people do the same thing. So that's one thing. The other thing that we hear is, this really took me back to the basics, because they're so living up here trying to figure out in the clouds, what am I doing right? What's working? They never ask themselves, what am I doing wrong? No, it's I tried this new thing out, which made me twice as lazy, by the way, but I tried this new thing out at work, so I'm going to go do it. But they never go back to the basics and find out why they did so well so early on. They keep telling themselves that times are changing. Times aren't changing. They are, but they're not. If you really want to find out what the best sales training is, it's still the sales training we've been doing over and over and over. It's like I had this morning, someone asked me like, hey, what is the best sales system out there? It's whatever sales system you're using. And it's not a funny comeback. It's true. Because if you look at all the sales systems out there, they're all the same. We all label them different to stay out of copyright, but at the end of the day, we show up to the house on time. We have something to say when we knock on the door, and then we try to get to a kitchen table so that we can build some rapport. From there, we're going to ask some questions. Now, that might be a little bit different based on whether you're going to use a questionnaire, which is more like an interrogation, or you have a set questions that you teach your reps to ask so that it's more of a conversation. And by the way, if it's not something that's on a sheet of paper, if it's more of a conversation, you're going to get more true answers. But then we're going to teach them how to do an actual inspection, whether you're doing windows, siding, baths, whatever, the roof. We're going to teach them how to do an inspection so that it's different than anybody else. And then ultimately, we're going to come back and we're going to go through a presentation and into a price presentation, a trial close, then price presentation. What we need to teach them and coach them is how to go through all that, because there's a process. But until you teach them how to say it, and at what speed, where to put certain pauses so that we can emphasize certain things, it's not manipulation, it's simple communication. Over the years, we just forget how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
If you left everybody alone, everybody would have their slang,
It's
their
true.
own way of saying certain things. But if you teach them the right way so that the homeowner picks up on it, that they understand it, and that now they don't feel like they're being told to make a decision, they're being asked to make a decision.
Yeah.
So